Yeah, Miss Detroit, I would like to say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rekakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect out there. With that being said, I want to get to a quick lesson. This concerning the peace deal that they had, they constructed over about almost a week and a half ago. They just all fell apart all of a sudden, But this is what Edom do. They had similar peace deal talks where Trump then went back on his word. You know what I'm saying? I done seen this with my own eyes. Trump do this like 3 or 4 times. He told them at one particular time, I think it was last year, he told them he'd give them 7 days to do something, and then on the third day he bombed them. So it's that fork-tongued devil, the position of no value. Esau Edom, man, a position of no value. Position of no value. Esau Edom, man. He's a forked tongue. He speaks with a forked tongue, man. What the scripture say, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And Esau is very double-minded. You know what I'm saying? He'll tell you one thing and then he'll do another. And this is what he do. He plays his game for his advantage. His war tactics and advantages and shit. Esau will never fight you on a level playing ground. He always seeks for the advantage. And one of his advantages is that lying tongue that he has, So let's listen to the video and then we'll hit it with a couple of scripts.
Both sides signed on to the Memorandum of Understanding. They're back battling over the Strait of Hormuz. The US has released video showing its strikes on targets inside Iran and also around the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has launched attacks on US military sites in Bahrain and Kuwait. A residential building in Bahrain was hit, but no casualties have been reported. Now, the US is pointing the finger at Iran, saying they started this by firing first, attacking a commercial vessel attempting to navigate its way through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran hasn't claimed responsibility for that, but has reiterated that it wants vessels to use its designated routes and that it has control over the Strait of Hormuz. That's led to Donald Trump firing off a threat, saying that there may come a point where we are no longer able to be reasonable and will be forced to militarily complete the job we very successfully started. If that happens, the Islamic Republic of Iran will no longer exist. It was just last week that the US...
When he says stuff like that, that's talk about using a nuclear weapon. When he say that no longer exists, he's talking about dropping a damn nuke. And so we hope that, Lord willing, that will happen. Lord willing, that he will use the nukes. You know what I'm saying? So, because we know Iran, is backed by China and Russia, which are nuclear powers too. You know what I'm saying? So, understanding the relationship between Iran and China and Russia and China, that they get a lot of oil from Iran and whatnot, and they are considered their ally. So we can't sit. They're gonna sit back and let them nuke the place that they're getting their oil from. This could actually lead into World War III. This could actually lead to the nukes being fired off. That's them pretty strong words coming from Trump saying, and he didn't use that talk before where he talking about he could end it in one day and everything. Let's go. Continue.
Iran had those face-to-face negotiations. They left saying they would set up a better communication channel. That is now being tested to see if they can de-escalate the situation, guys. Well, less than 2 weeks after both sides signed on to the Memorandum of Understanding, they're back.
Say less than 2 weeks, and we just seen this with Trump time and time again, where he would say something and then he'd go back to his word, and he'd same thing with Maduro, gave him a countdown, and then broke the countdown and went in there and kidnapped Maduro and his wife before the time was up. You know what I'm saying? This is how Esau operates. You know what I'm saying? He's the he loves to use the element of surprise. That's one of his tactics, his war tactics. When a raid van come in the night, they don't come. They don't announce that they coming. They just come. You know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, we're gonna hit it with a couple of scripts and end it, and it's not gonna be that long. The first script we're gonna bring out is let me get to my scripts. Hold on. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the Book of Sirach. We go to 12 and 10, and the scripture reads, it says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. It says, and thou shalt be unto him as thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. So yeah, that's Esau Edom, man. Hey, never trust. Hey, the scriptures plain and simple. Never trust thy enemy, man. Because iron is sure gonna rust, man. Iron is sure gonna rust, man. You know, iron rusts easy, man. I mean, you can iron. Sweat can rust iron. You know what I'm saying? Any wetness can lead to iron to be rusted. So, sure, if iron's gonna rust, so is his wickedness, man. So, we need to take heed and learn from that. And we're going to go to verse 16 too. It says, an enemy speaking sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He said he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Yeah, that's Esau Edom, man. You know what I'm saying? He used every trick available to him, you know, to get you off balance, you know, so he can attack, he can attack you, man. He do not play fair. Esau is not playing fair. The wicked do not rule the world by playing fair and being nice, you know. This is Psalms 10. We're going to start with verse 6. It says, he hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. It says, for his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. That's Esau Edom, man. You know, he said, he sitteth in the lurking places of the village. In the secret places do he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. It says he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den, and lieth in wait to catch the poor. He do catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself that the poor may fall by his strongest. So yeah, that's just Esau Edom, characteristics of Esau Edom, man. You know, like I say, he do not rule the world being Mr. Nice Guy. You know what I'm saying? And as the scripture say, let's see if we can get back to it. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. And this is Isaiah 26 and verse 10. And it says, let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. And yeah, his favor has been shown to the wicked. He has been lifted up, you know, and to actually carry out a particular work that the Lord wanted him to do, man. And that he has had to be the whipping stick of the Lord, you know what I'm saying, the hammer of the earth, man. You know, and the Lord put the basis of man, you know, over his people, man. And because we moved the Lord to wrath, you know, worshiping idols, and he turned our back on the Lord. So the Lord raised up Esau Edom, and I remember me and the brothers was laughing, like, you know, when he came across Esau Edom's resume, he was like, oh, I got him. You know, he picked the perfect specimen to do this thing, man. Esau Edom is the beast. You know, the beast of men, you know what I'm saying? You know, that he would even sleep with the beast. You know, this Esau Edom would, you know, he's known for laying down with animals, you know what I'm saying? And so is the Hamites too, you know. You've seen some videos of the Hamites, man. Like, them goats, man. Damn. But nevertheless, yeah. Yeah, favor has been shown to the wicked, but has he did right with his favor? No. he had just carried out more evil on the earth, man. More evil. He's at a deficit. He's at a deficit so bad, and he never tried to do things the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just thinking, and it was just me, just a carnal thought, right? Really, that like even with this heat and stuff, and they not surviving. This heat is killing their ass, right? And the heat is bad on everybody, you know, but especially with them, you know, the heat is bad. And they thought they whole thing is to block the sun out instead of just blending it was a carnal thought. Instead of just loving on Jake and just getting some of that inheritance, some melanin or something, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, it was just a carnal thought that just slipped through my head. Like they would just rather just, you know, do the most impossible thing ever, and to block the damn sun off from the whole earth instead of just, you know, marrying them a Jake woman, and their kids will come out with a little bit of melanin, and you know, and they'll teach their kids to also, you know, get them some melanin, you know what I'm saying, change their DNA or whatever. But you know, they'd rather go just fucking create chemtrails and a whole system to block out the damn sun and shit like that, you know. But you know, nevertheless, like I said, it was just a carnal thought, just like that's to show you how wicked they is, that they would rather go through that extreme to damn block out the damn sun. You know, have a whole program of flying chemtrails and blocking out the sun with light metals and plastics and shit. You know, through their chemtrail spraying. But nevertheless, we'll get through another script in this. I mean, he could have just even went to Ham and made an allegiance with Ham, where they can get some of them dark ass Africans, and then produce produce some babies where they babies can have some damn melanin, and then keep on doing it. You know, but they got that pride in them. They don't never want to go away. But the earth is showing you that they don't that you know that it's against you. You know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, they so this is Psalms um, let me see. Let me see Psalms 55. Let me see 21. Oh, this is Psalms 55 and verse 21 says, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." So yeah, that's Esau Edom with that forked tongue, man. That forked tongue. And he would speak to you He would speak with you nicely, man. And then, you know, um, um, speak with you nicely, and then only for his advantage, you know what I'm saying? And then he'd come out of a bag or a trick bag on your ass, and you be like, damn, is this the same person I was even talking to? You know, that's just Esau Edom, man. Hey, what the scriptures say, it be not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways. And you got Jake out here, you know, wanting to be like Esau too. Esau want to be like him, you know what I'm saying? They want this. You got a lot of Jake that just want this kingdom to last forever, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, we tired of this kingdom, man. We tired of this, man. He could just sit up here and just destroy um, Jake at will. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Venezuela thing with the earthquake. They say it's 100,000 kids missing over in Venezuela. You know, and watch these burger joints, man. Watch these damn burger joints. Keep an eye on these burger joints when they come up with the specials and shit. You know, two Big Macs for $5 or some shit. You gotta watch that shit, man. It can be Jake's you eating, you know, because we know that's how Esau get down, man. You know, and this is Psalms 58, Verse 3, it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And that who's that? Esau, Edom, man, speaking lies. Hey, man. Hey, we see this thing happen time and time again. I remember it was this one incident where it was a little white girl, and they asked the little girl, she couldn't be no more than 3 or 4, and they asked her what happened, and she said, oh, a big black man did it. And you know what I'm saying, they laughed it off because they knew she was lying, but it was just so crazy that this young kid, as a 3 or 4 year old, knew to blame it on the Jake, man. You know, she knew that from that early age to blame it on the black man. She knew, what to do, And it's funny that you see another video where they say if you get lost, go find you a big black man, telling the kids, go find a big black man to run to. So it's like, what is it, Jake? What the fuck is we? Is we your hero or your fucking enemy? What is it? I mean, in your mind, how do you view us? You know what I'm saying? Really, you just view us as, you know who we are. You know what I'm saying? And you just sitting up here, you really just, having your way with us. Ultimately to the Lord comes, take us out of your hand. You know what I'm saying? So you try everything that you could think of to destroy us, experiment on us, take, things out of you. They take shit. I wouldn't be surprised if these motherfuckers is not taking, certain genes out of Jake's body and put it into their own. You know what I'm saying? Just like me and one of my friends were talking about the blood banks, and I don't know, they had the blood banks for a long time, but I remember really in the 1980s when one of my friends, his brother, used to always go to the blood bank, man. And it was a big old thing about them selling their blood. They would get like maybe $20-30 for a pint of blood for their plasma and whatnot. So right now, even to this day, you got Jake selling this shit out of his blood, man. You know what I'm saying? They got it where Jake can sell blood twice a week, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So they can do it twice a week, and they get $50. Say if they get $100 for off their blood, they can make up to like almost $400 a month selling blood. And you got some Jake who faithfully do this shit, man. Who go out there and sell their fucking blood every damn, several times a month. Even to pay a bill. But this is the system Esau created for you, so you have to sell your damn blood. And then with that blood, you don't know what Esau Edom is doing, whether it's extracting DNA or whatever out of the damn blood and do whatever. So you don't know. These are motherfucking mad scientists that's going wild. You know what I'm saying? Now you got white boys dunking out the gym, white girls' asses fat hanging and shit. Motherfucking white boys dancing, pop locking, and water waving and shit. You don't know if these motherfuckers took your DNA and out and put it in a pill for their ass, or even put it into their babies. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We just know that this is a mad scientist, man. Esau Edom. That he has this. He's a mad scientist, and he had this God complex, thinking that he is the Most High, and he think he can do everything, So nevertheless, just want to shed some light on the on Esau Edom, and just show you how just such a liar this motherfucker is, and it's the number one truth and deal breaker on the planet, and you can never trust your enemy, like the scripture says. Trust not your enemy, for as iron will rusteth, so it was wickedness. So yeah, we can't. Just roughly paraphrasing that scripture. Yeah, we can't. We can't trust Esau Edom, man. So with that being said, I would like to say all praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakadash, double honors to the elders, apostles, GMS, who rule well and taught us his knowledge, and Shalom to home for left.